We can explore this very deeply, but I'm going to give you a preliminary and superficial answer. I would very much like to be an unselfish person, but the reason why I want to be an unselfish person is that I am very selfish and would far more love myself and respect myself if I were unselfish. The notion that we have of ourselves, of ego, is a compound of an image of ourselves which does not fit the facts, and a sensation of muscular straining which is futile. So that what you conceive to be yourself is the marriage of an illusion and a futility.
So you see, when you ask, how do I attain the knowledge of God? How do I attain nirvana, liberation? All I can say is it's the wrong question. Why do you want to attain it? Because the very fact that you're wanting to attain it is the only thing that prevents you from getting there. You already have it. So don't differentiate yourself and stand off against this and say, I am a living organism in a world made of a lot of dead junk, rocks and stuff. It all goes together.
My screen, please. Nice. Oh, are you guys hearing this? Oh, great. How professional. I wonder what just happened. I thought I muted everything. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool. It was just kind of in a weird stasis. Anyway, let's start the show. Hey! Hey guys, how's it going? Let me just set that down. See, we still have the troubles of having well, I guess if you're listening to this, it doesn't really matter. We have a very limited cord as usual with the Stream Deck, so I can only I have to pull it up to me, but not actually sit down on my lap. I actually can only hold it a certain distance, and then I have to return it back, because otherwise I'd just be holding it. But hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin, and you are watching and or listening to episode 335 DangIT Productions. Welcome. So, let me just clear things out of the way. It's just me for the podcast. Unfortunately, we got a lot of circumstances in which no one's really available at this time, but that's fine. Just a lot of things are happening. We got schedules changing here and there. Speaking of which, let's talk about something. A new curfew. California's governor enacting a effective actually today curfew that actually hold on, give me a second. I need to make sure the audio's keen. All right, looks like okay. Yeah, it's good. So I can just kind of keep the mic as close to me as possible. So effective today, we have this curfew that's going on where from 10 p.m. to 5 o'clock a.m. that they're just enacting this curfew, which no one should be out unless you're an essential worker. And I'll tell you right now, it doesn't necessarily affect us too impactfully, but it does, because we do have a schedule where we do stream kind of late at night. But earlier than that, we did try to change up our schedule. Also, by the way, shout out to Mark for jumping into the chat, where we stream a little bit earlier. For me specifically, I don't really get affected by this change. I'll be doing my live streams on Twitch. It really just affects us as far as like the productivity and just like our schedule, like on Twitch specifically, where we're just live streaming games over there, and we're pretty much doing that like every day. But we usually had it set to like late hours, so we're like filming up until like midnight at the very latest, or sometimes with Anaya, especially when he was doing just like one whole stream starting from when he gets out from 10 to like 2 a.m. playing Sekiro. It's ooh. So yeah, unfortunately he wouldn't be able to make that type of schedule with like a whole month's of a curfew, but we are kind of working through that. He had some suggestions about like streaming early, like super early in the morning, and then that would just be it. That's just like his block for the month. But we'll let you know if anything else changes over on Twitch. In the meantime, stuff happening on YouTube. We got, as usual, we got the Ruby stuff now like up and going. I don't remember, actually, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember how our editing, or I guess how the layout is for our reactions with Ruby. Because if you know the history of the channel, you know that we loved doing the full reactions with Ruby, but all of a sudden we start getting like a lot of the copyright takedowns, and well, not takedowns. Let me just like let me just specify it again, or clarify that it's copywritten in sense that it's set to be blocked, unviewable by anyone except for I think maybe ourselves. Actually, I don't even think we were able to watch it like on YouTube. Even like for us, it's just straight up blocked out. But that's been kind of on and off, where some videos would get that and then get released. Some of them would just stay perpetually there until we delete the videos. It's a lot of like weird stuff, and because I'm not sure we have like any type of standing in the eyes of Rooster Teeth. I don't know who monitors it or if they even do it anymore, because there was a whole situation where they would allow people to do the reactions in the past, but it's been changing. But some content creators have been okay and just bypass that. I don't know their background. One of the more notable ones in the Rooster Teeth community, Murder Birds, still does like the uploads, everything like that. Nothing really changed since then. So with this latest upload, I'll tell you right now, behind the scenes, audio was supposed to come out from like our recording for like the episode, but didn't, and I was like, no, let's like see what happens. And yeah, so that got released I think yesterday. Yeah, we're gonna see. It's one of those things where we just kind of see what the feedback's like. It's not so great. But again, this is like, was it 4 likes to dislike ratio? Or sorry, that's not, I'm using poor choices of words right now. Out of 4, it's like half and half likes and dislikes. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, yeah, that's could be better, but you know, it is what it is, because a lot of people know us for the full reaction. We show everything. Let's react to another video. Dang it, boom, that's it. But we have been slowly moving away from that. Although I could see why. So we kind of keep some reactions in here, especially for gameplay stuff. I love that. But in any case, Mark was saying Grounded got updated. For sure, I totally believe it because we still have. It was still last week, right? Last week was when the next gen consoles started like coming up. Shoutouts to iShadow for jumping in. Hey, how's it going? Let's see, water biome was added. Nice. Would I come back to Grounded? I wouldn't say right now because there's just a bunch of games coming like around, and we're trying to focus on that. Speaking of that, am I done with the whole Rooster Teeth, or not the whole Ruby little segment? With Ruby, we're gonna just Well, here's the thing: we don't really have like a uniform way of like our edits for Ruby, as far as the reactions. Although I think, some edited reactions might be in order for that one, just so like we're not completely doing like full reactions. But we also do it, so it's like, I don't know. I think that's just more of like a me type of thing where I need to contemplate. But I'll figure something out. I think honestly we'll kind of come back to like edit in some form or fashion. But I don't know. I really don't know. Honestly, help. Help, please. I'll think about that like afterwards. I'll think about that like after the podcast, because like just thinking about it, because of course we were trying to distance ourselves from like the past, and then it just, you know, just doing our own thing. But of course, just seeing like the feedback, it's it can be tough sometimes. Going over, Mark saying always willing to help if you need, Justin. I appreciate that. We just haven't. It's rough right now. Like, we have like, of course we have the crew and everything, but you know, with the schedules, as you can see, it's kind of rough over here. But we don't know like who's permanent and whatnot, because of course everything's like all voluntary and things just happen. Like what happened with Christoph, like yesterday, we didn't expect that, but Christoph is totally okay. He's just having to take the time off. He might come in later though, and I think for Sunday that won't change anything as far as the My Hero reads or anything. Big day tomorrow. We can't talk about it too much, but we'll see how things pan out. I know that we have the curfew, but we can totally like get everything done before then. It'll be good. In the meantime, for today, I don't know what we'll be doing. Mark is saying like I'm free like 90% of the time. Oh, real then? How come like from then on, when you became a mod over on Twitch, every single time I'm asked you to like remove a comment, you ain't there, and it's Christoph who picks up behind and picks it up. And I was like, damn, Mark, where you at? But that's okay. Mark has been really good as far as maintaining the activity in the chat, which I truly appreciate that, because otherwise, if he and I were talking like right now between us, it becomes, and that's kind of a weird thing. I've talked to the guys about this, but like the idea of like when we talk to like other people, it becomes like that type of communication, and then all of a sudden like the viewers get pushed off from that, and they're just observing that. You know, does that make sense? Mark was saying like I've seen no bots since the My Hero reads. I'm not talking about the My Hero reads. I'm talking about every single other stream, boy. No, you got your own thing. I understand that. I was going to jump over to, it was like after Ruby, there was something over. Oh yes, the uploads on YouTube. So of course we got the reaction stuff for Ruby underway. I'm currently working on, well, I already did October's, but I should work on November's stuff for Twitch highlights. I love those edits now. There was another one. Shoot, there's a bunch of like Let's Plays that we're trying to start up and also trying to resume. We're talking about Ghost of Tsushima. I still need to finish edits for like Final Fantasy VII Remake, because you know the story about that one. That is just simply me trying to edit hours, like by the chapter episodes, and some chapters are very lengthy. I think we're talking about like chapter 8 or even 3 or whatever. Just that whole segment of like Cloud and Aerith going to whatchamacallit place. Just that whole like party-esque area. I don't remember what it's called. It's driving me nuts right now. But we can't. That's like 2-3 hours worth of content like in that. So to do this by chapter, I'm gonna commit. It just sucks. But yeah, Mark was saying I do miss the podcast. Back and forth between you and the crew and the chat. Good times. But yeah, no, Mark. Well, what I meant was that like for the streams on Twitch, we got stuff happening like every day. Granted, though, it's always around like your bedtime, so that I can understand that. But you did tune in for like the morning streams with Anaya, so appreciate that one. Shoot, we got stuff here. Can I go on a? I'm gonna go on a quick rant. This is a hard pivot, but I want to talk about something that's really been bugging me because lately I've never really gotten experiences. I guess I also have like something else going on too, but this is something different. I want to talk about autocorrect. I know this is just like that just comes out of nowhere. Autocorrect. Anyone who like spill that tea. It's y'all in your late ass streams, truly. So Apple users, people who have iPhones, or even use iPads, text apps, autocorrect. Fucking sucks, dude. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm the type of person who likes to type like dot every single time. It corrects it to I'm. And it's never really bothered me until I started texting a lot more like frequently. This is something like the context for it's like something I'm not gonna really like expand on, but I've been texting a lot like these past couple weeks, actually a fair amount, but I've only started noticing this now. And also there's something else I want to point out about autocorrect that really just ticks me off sometimes is when you're like going back and forth like from like the beginning of your text message to the very end of the sentence, and you're like, oh shoot, let me change something, and you go like up and then you like backspace and then you start typing it up again, and then you find like one, it's a space in that area that has been locked to capitalization because Apple is trying to do you a solid by keeping the lock on that, when sometimes you don't even want that. So I find myself every now and again typing out or backspacing out, clearing some message and like redefining it, and then there's just a capitalized letter somewhere in the middle of that. You try to like clear it out, but that, oh my god, I guess the cap lock is just set to that, so you actually have to manually like hit that and then retype it, and then it'll go away. Otherwise Apple will, or like the phone will just keep that locked. I don't know why I need to bring that up as such a big thing. When I think back on it, it's kind of silly. But when you're in the middle of a conversation and you're typing fast, it's a no-go. Okay. All right. So that turned out to be a really lame topic. I want to talk about something else that's actually been hitting me like pretty bad as far as like the productivity on the channel. Yes, autocorrect BS. Yes, thank you, Jordan. I want to talk about my home PC. Like, we got the stream PC. It's been good. That's good. But something's been really happening. Something bad's been happening with my PC at home. It's been freezing a lot. For those of you who don't really know the setup, like over like at my house, it is. It started off as like a dual monitor setup, to like 27 inches, 1080p, totally fine. The PC was something that my cousin and I had built. Well, at least I bought the parts. He built it, and that was like back in 2018. That was May or something. And we the past year we've been doing a couple upgrades, like increase like the battery, or the rating for the battery, the RAM, done nothing to graphics. We added, I think, some fans. I don't remember if we did that. I think it was mainly the RAM and the battery, and I think that was all we really did as far as upgrades. But lately, now the setup currently is that humongous, not humongous really, but it is a 55-inch what was it, LG NanoCell TV that I got around last Christmas time, and it's been working fine with that dual monitor setup where it's like another 20, it's a 27-inch, and then there's just a 50-inch like far out there. But it's set up the same way, and it's been working beautifully like that. But recently, these past couple weeks, things have been like freezing up. So I'm not sure if anyone could pitch in like as far as this little live troubleshoot. But what's been happening is that we've had this. Well, for me, I say we, but it's me. So I like to, of course, like with the big 55-inch, I like to just stream whatever and just like put it over there. And as I do work on the 27-inch to my left-hand side, things have been freezing up. I started noticing this when I was just using my Verve account to like watch some anime, and then like all of a sudden just stops. Or it wasn't even that, it was Twitch actually, where in the middle of the live stream it stops. I don't know how. So what I do is I try to like close out of it or refresh. It doesn't work, so I'm like, okay, that's weird. Let me just close out the browser. It doesn't work. Okay, what's happening to the other like browsers I have on the left hand side on the 27-inch? It's not working. Okay, that's weird. Why don't I give it a second? Yeah, nothing's happening. All right, let's hit the restart button. It's not working. These past couple days, the only way I've been able to shut down my computer or restart it is by physically pressing that power button, holding it down, turning everything off. I don't even trust it to do recordings. So much for Miles Morales right now, right? The PlayStation 5 is like way over like at my place, and you know, obviously I wanted to do that because I bought it, and I also wanted to just kind of see it on the 55. But I also wanted to do recordings on it too. It's not gonna happen at this point. So this upcoming Monday, my cousin's going, same person who's been building my PC and upgrading it. He's gonna jump in there. He's gonna do some troubleshooting, figure out what's going on. My guess is something within the PC is no longer like working the same way, because in a perfect world everything just works. And the only way it wouldn't work is if like one thing wasn't plugged in, but it's been working and now it's stopped. Literally nothing's changed. So we gotta find out like what died essentially. Does it stutter a fuck ton? Asked Mark. Oh, I hate when that happens. It's just like, but does it stutter? I wouldn't say it stutters. It stops. Just hard stop when you least expect it. I also started noticing this too. I tried isolating it. I figured that's like, oh well, maybe there's just like too much of like the screen on the 55 that causes things to just kind of like seize up. I think that's what my cousin starts referring it to, like seizes up. So I've isolated the display so I can only work on the 27-inch. For the most part, it's been working until I leave it alone and I'm off doing something else, and I come back to it and I try to like resume where I'm at on the web browser or whatever app, freezes. So I'm like, shit, there's something happening. I don't know if I don't know if this is like the main cause for it, but I'm thinking it's something maybe with the CPU/motherboard or the graphics. I mainly say the graphics card because it's due for an upgrade, but we don't have those new GPUs available as of right now, so I don't want to really upgrade that. Shit, it sucks. But yeah, so honestly, I've been using like my iPad and like my phone as kind of my means of just browsing like on the web. It's terrible. I feel like my home computer's finally gone kaput for a little bit. So we'll see how things pan out with that one. I'm just really sad about like how it turned out like this. especially when I want to try to like do some like editing stuff, because I end up having to do it over here. But I won't be here all day, you know, with the curfew. But I also have to whatchamacallit, and this is just for people who like tune in for like the Twitch streams. I won't be available tonight around the what was it? What's the window time? 7 to 9 o'clock like window. I won't be available, but we'll see if anyone else is. Otherwise, that might be our free break, because I don't believe Anaya's available until like later, and he would have to go home because of the whole curfew thing. And Christoph is still recovering, and we don't know any updates as far as like when he'll be available later today, just tomorrow. But yeah, Mark's saying like, welcome to my world. Yeah. That the poor boy needs to be upgraded. That's why that's the main takeaway. That's why I want to do it right now. But yeah, it sucks mainly because it's not even about the streaming stuff. I can stream it anywhere else. It's just the fact that that's been my main editing computer for like both videos and Photoshop. Granted, like mine's just like a very light version of Photoshop, but still I do use that. It's kind of held me off from editing like any type of like the Ruby thumbnails, or it saved me from like editing any more videos, because of course that thing is gonna just like hit stop it whenever it wants to. But Jordan's saying like, my home PC that I had for use for a bit into the beginning uni was not enjoyable. See, I do have my laptop though. I guess, yeah, it probably needs to go through the whole like software updates and everything like that, because I have not opened that boy up, turned it on for a while. Still usable though, just haven't really touched it. So there. I think that's all like the negative stuff. I wouldn't say negative. That within itself is a negative connotation, and this is just like nitpicking. This is stuff that we can like work around. I will say some nice things, kind of jump back into that more positive mindset. I actually named this thing the anime corner, but I did already talk about Ruby. But Anaya actually brought something up on his topics list, talking about Cowboy Bebop, Netflix's Cowboy Bebop, and how like no one's playing Ed, and he's saying the fuck. Honest to goodness, I have absolutely no input on this, but I know that Cowboy Bebop has a huge following, and I'm not sure if this is an adaptation or this is like a recast of sorts. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh yeah, Mark is saying yeah, they're adapting it. So I don't know what else to bring up with that one, except for the fact that that's kind of, because I know that, well, did Evangelion also like have like a recast as well? And for a lot of people, like they were kind of disappointed with that, because like the delivery on the lines, like the lines have been altered. They don't mean quite the same as far as the intensity. It's kind of disappointing, because I was really looking forward to it, but then me and my lazy ass never like sits down and watches a movie or show or marathons things unless it's like it's just one little thing. But with Evangelion, I feel like that's just a bunch of things I should really commit to, and I'm not ready to commit to that right now. But also Cowboy Bebop, it's one of those things where I know why it's so good, but I just don't have that much of an interest in it. But I don't know. I'll get to that point. But yeah, that's kind of upsetting, I guess, because that does halt the whole progression of making a work such as that people would be looking forward to. Just getting people like introduced to, like, I guess I keep saying franchise, but the series. But Mark's saying Cyberpunk also set for December 10th. I don't know what to say, but that's getting delayed. That's my take on it. That boy's getting delayed. I'm not sure about you. Cyberpunk's been delaying that a couple times, especially, it really sucks when they double down on that one Twitter user saying like for sure, and then the delay gets announced and they're like shit. Marcus, don't you dare put that bad juju on this. I don't know what to say, dude. It's gonna happen. Cyberpunk's getting delayed. If I'm wrong, great. If I'm right, that really sucks. Because, like, what else do they need to work on? Like, they're perfecting it, right? They're just going through the whole process. I mean, granted, though, I don't really know the history on their progress on it. Mark just wants to play it already. I know a lot of people want to play that. But hey, I mean, Mark's playing, like, Valhalla right now, Assassin's Creed. So that should hold you over for a little bit. Like, Discord's been showing me the notification that Mark's been playing Valhalla. Like, almost every single time I'm just, like, logged in. Cyberpunk Forever 2077. But Mark's saying it is a fun game. I believe it. I was saying before that it didn't really look too impressive, like, when the Game Grumps were, like, showing it off. But that's not their shtick. That's not, like, their area as far as, like, showcasing a game. Like, they're the entertainment, not the game per se. So it was kind of hard for them to, I guess, persuade me as a viewer. But having seen someone else just kind of properly go through the intro and everything like that, it really kind of it looks really good. That's also something. It looked really good, like, from the opening and everything, and just how it starts off. And good God, I don't know if it's like a numerical, like, addition to Assassin's Creed, or is it just kind of like Assassin's Creed, it's a side story. Because I keep telling you, like, they, like, ever since, like, it's never been the same since Assassin's Creed 3? Yeah, 3. Where unfortunately our boy Desmond gets got, and, you know, I don't even know where the story, I don't know if there's a continuation. It's just like, it's just a, what do you call it? What do you call it? Mark says it does feel like a continuation. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna just trust me policy on that one. Okay. But yeah. That was Cowboy Bebop because just going back to it. Jujutsu Kaisen. Let me talk about that real quick. Still really good so far. Well, although this recent episode's been kind of like, it kind of coasts because it's just introducing new characters and starting to build itself up again. Because how do you? What episode was it? Episode 8. Let's just say, like, the recent episode releases episode 8, and the episode beforehand. Ooh, how do you outdo that? You need to just kind of rest on your laurels and just, like, let it coast, and then, like, save up and then output whatever else you got. I'm using weird choices of words today. I was not real. Well, part of me was expecting to do solo streaming today as far as the podcast. So, but I guess I wasn't really too prepared for it. Mainly because, like, it's nice to have, like, feedback, like, vocal feedback here and there. But I'm saying, Mark, you should probably just rest in the chat, because I need you in the chat. But what was? Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. Aside from that episode, this one just being kind of like more of a character introduction stuff. Our characters get wrecked. Jesus, dude. But the English dub actually got started, and Robbie Damon and Ray Chase, they're kind of like my favorites as far as, because, like, they both work together, they're friends, and they also have, like, a Twitch channel together with who's the other? Oh, I forgot. But they have their own Twitch channel together, so they work closely together, and they've been, like, on each other's channels and whatnot, or at least rather Robbie's. So seeing them work together on this one, especially Ray Chase being, like, a voice actor anywhere, will make me raise an eyebrow, because, like, he has such a very distinct, like, voice when he was Noctis. And what was crazy was when I found out that he had still had that voice for Noctis, or at least he was still the cast, or at least he was a voice actor for Noctis even after the change, in which Noctis initially having a very deeper voice started to have like a much more like higher voice, like due to voice acting directions, and for him to adopt a whole new thing, but also sound like really genuine for the character, or at least rather, that's now my impression of Noctis as a character. But just knowing that those two are casting this one, I definitely need to check it out. Otherwise, I'm not really too big on the English dubs. No particular reason. Some things would work out. As far as like, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to. What was, there was a wow. I'm out of. I don't know even. I don't have words. Sorry guys. Sorry. Justin.exe is like not working right now. Okay. No, there was that fitness anime. It was on Funimation. Something dumbbells or something like that. Yeah, that feels just right for an English dub, because like of course you're gonna talk about gym culture. You're talking about the Western side of things. So yes, put all the memes and jokes, all the references that like Americans know right now. Put that into like this dumbbell lifting anime, and we'll eat the shit out of it. Especially when it's all about like weight gaining and losing the weight, gaining muscles. Of course, it works. But yeah. Oh, Mark was saying RIP to one of Goku's voice actors, the Ocean dub. I don't know that particular one, but all the same, like that guy has been doing a lot of like works everywhere else. So rest in peace. But yeah, just sorry, cycling back to the initial topic of Jujutsu Kaisen. Recommend that mainly because of the voice actors. I have not even heard a single line in the English dub, but I would still recommend it. A little bit, we'll see. LO's quick segue. I know, I'm trying to control it. But I'm also just kind of it's a retractable lease right now. All right. Christoph actually added something else to the topics. It deals with the COVID situation. Listen, guys, this whole pandemic has gotten to a point where like we cannot ignore it. Hence why we have like the new curfew. So I'm really hoping like right now, like until the end, we have a way to contain it. And whatever development happens at the end of like the whole month cycle of this curfew, we have some kind of solution. I don't know to what scale, but I'm just really hoping for the best right now, because I think considering the fact this started in March, 2 months just free to do whatever, and then starting March, everything just kind of went down. It's gone to its own like version of normal to this point, but it's something we can't ignore. So like, for the people that you don't know, wear a mask. If they're not clean, wear a mask. If they haven't been tested, wear a mask with them, and try to stay in as much as possible, because like a lot of us, we're clean, so that's why we're still like here. We're keeping to ourselves like within this environment, and like our own living situations have been pretty contained too. Yeah, wear your damn mask, says Mark. So I need to quit like that. I need to quit that nonsense. But there's also is also one thing I need to quit. Here's the biggest news to really hit us. I was gonna take off my glasses, but I decided to keep them on. We've hit affiliate status on Twitch, and I gotta say, I gotta thank like everyone over on Twitch and over here who jumped over to Twitch, and I gotta thank the crew especially. We gotta thank Sephi, we gotta thank Anaya, we gotta thank Christoph for just supporting me, because we're a team, but DangIT Productions is still under me. Like, I'm still like in charge about everything. I'm still like, even like, this is a perfect example. When no one's around, I'm still like holding up this channel, but they came around and did a real solid and really helped support the channel. Even if it all ends with me, no matter what, they're still supporting. It's, dude, I I can't really fathom, because part of me couldn't really fathom it because, like the family lifestyle, the family ideals are kind of like just like focus on yourself and everything like that. I won't jump into that detail, but it's been a little bit more self-centered like over there. So for these guys to just come in and help me out just to support a guy is bonkers to me. And I'm still trying to process it to this day. But I want to thank them so much for that. But Mark was saying, my girlfriend keeps waiting to go out to dinner, and I'm like, sure, internally screaming. Listen, some people just can't. Some people seriously cannot adapt to this the same way. Even now, when things have like kind of like loosened up, we're able to still go to like restaurants. Some places are open, and that really helps with the business side of that. But also at the same time, we can't really. It's not quite normal to the point where we should be completely comfortable with it. But yeah, it's unfortunate on that end. So that's kind of the big highlight that I want to talk about. Affiliate status. Ooh. It's one step. Because honestly, with Twitch affiliate status, that by itself doesn't improve the channel. It's just what you do with that new status. And with affiliates comes with the ability to receive donations, have unlocked like an emote here and there, get a badge, and I'll be working on that. I don't know. The issue is my creativity in the midst of it. Like, what do I want to design? And I mean, granted, like I have the resources. We got Naya who can pretty much like come up with something. Excuse me. Ooh. Yeah, just sweet water. But sorry, this is one of the weirdest teacher burps I've gotten. But yeah, we have a Naya as part of a resource, as well as the entire crew. Everyone can come up with something. But I would really like to design something that is like personal to me. I think, because of course I love people that just like add their like special emote. I think one of the things I want to do first and foremost, because we only have like access to one emote like right now, that is just one. By the way, thank you guys for congratulating me. I appreciate that, and the channel, congratulating the channel. But we only have like access to like one emote, so that's kind of like, ooh, okay, we gotta be picky about this. I already have something in mind, so I want to see where I want to go with that. I think because you can add text to it, but you can also make like some kind of image to it. I don't know how I want to design this one though, so that's gonna be something I'll be thinking about throughout the day. But it's just a stepping stone for affiliates right now, because I don't think it does anything like outside of just unlocking like certain things here as far as receiving like bits and subscriptions. That's super cool, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I've already gone through the setup. Like, we are now officially like affiliates, but now we have to open ourselves up to the next progression, the next stage, partnerships. And it's not hard per se. Actually, yeah, no, I take that back 100%. It is difficult, because one of the biggest things that held us from achieving affiliate status, despite the number of followers, despite how many hours we've streamed, and let me tell you, that far exceeds any requirements for partnership like right now. But the biggest thing, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know what the answer is, but the biggest thing that's been really holding us back is the retention. Like, the average viewership, it needed to be 3 for affiliate, and it took us up until now to get there, and now they're asking us to keep it at like 75. That, like, I see that number like on all these streams on Twitch, but for me to imagine 70 or so people like tuning in for like a live stream nowadays, I'm pretty sure we've gone to that point before, like back in the reaction days, but this, I don't know. I really don't know. We're just gonna have to keep doing what we're doing. that's all we can do. And it's more of an internal like mindset and just kind of development. But yeah, so that's something I'll have to keep thinking about. But that's everything as far as the main topics. I know that we got like about 20 more minutes before like we hit the hour mark. I've been thinking about not really like long-term stuff, but I've been thinking about like cases where I do have like, because I'll still do the podcast, but if I do them solo for a little bit, I'm not saying that I will or it's gonna happen, but if it does come to that, I might have to keep it like pretty short just to keep the entertainment value onto it. Although I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of all over the place for this podcast, but it's okay. It happens to the best of us. But I think here it's kind of like free conversation at this point. I like to do that. You know, it doesn't have to be all business or anything like that, especially since I talked about autocorrect. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. I want to talk about that for a second, because I love Breath of the Wild. I love Legend of Zelda, and this is a Warriors game. I don't really have an what's the word for it? I don't have any type of affection, I guess, lack of better words, towards the franchise or series. But I like Legend of Zelda, so I will jump into this one. Will I stream it? It might be better if I stream it. It's one of those games where like there's nothing. I don't think doing like episodic stuff like maybe Miles Morales, I don't think it translates that well. But having said that, though, I'm kind of on standby until I can get this home PC setup fixed. So I might not be able to do Miles Morales for a little bit. But what's call it? Hyrule Warriors. I think I think I'll be able to stream it on Twitch. But essentially what I want to talk about is the fact that Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity seems to want to take the divergent route. It wants to do the timeline split. Anyone who's familiar with Legend of Zelda as an entire series should kind of be aware. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say should, but they already might be aware of this timeline split theory. So the idea is that all the Legend of Zelda games are connected, right? There's some chronological order to it, and I've watched this whole original timeline back on, I think, game trailers many years ago, many moons. Feels like centuries. It's probably only been like since 2005. That's when 2005, 2006. That's when. Yeah. It was 2005, 2006, and probably around 2007. That's when the whole timeline thing like got conjured up and it just showed up on game trailers and then other media like places. But I couldn't tell you what the timeline looks like from the back of my memory right now. I can only tell you that around that time when Skyward Sword was a thing and a new thing, it was kind of like the beginning of all these Zelda games. And this is not canon or anything like that. It's just like this is where it's theorized to be, and then right below it is another game. I think the original Legend of Zelda, if not Ocarina of Time, but specifically on Ocarina of Time, it does the split timeline because the big impactful thing that splits it off is the fact that you can play as young Link and continue as a young Link, whereas adult Link follows the timeline in which Ganon has taken over Hyrule. In the young Link's timeline, Ganon hasn't done that, and the idea is that as adult Link, you defeat Ganon using the Master Sword with Zelda's help, everything like that, yada yada yada. But there's a bunch of calamity that just happened, calamity, and then young Link's timeline is him coming back and apparently kind of reporting on Ganon's like evil like plans, and therefore like preventing him from gaining any more power as far as I guess like in Hyrule, and as far as like his status. I'm not sure like how else he does kind of resurrect himself or how he comes back from that. I don't really know, but that's kind of the whole split timeline here. So jumping into Breath of the Wild, I honestly could not tell you where Breath of the Wild falls within this amalgamation of Zelda games as far as like a chronological like number on it, but it's somewhere. It's somewhere. If not, I would totally love to just put it on a separate timeline. But essentially, it follows, the main gist of it is that Zelda had a mom who had the power of sealing, and that this Zelda has trouble acquiring this power. And her father, as strict as he is, though caring, really wants her to focus on like the sealing magic, the seal Calamity Ganon, because the ancient scriptures, like from Sheikah origins, have like foretold of like a calamity about to happen. Therefore, everyone gathers up together. That's where Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity takes place, and then Breath of the Wild takes place like 100 years after that, where it was the fall and the aftermath of that, in which Link is already wounded. He wakes up in the Shrine of Resurrection, and he has to stop Ganon. I don't know where to finish off with that, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I've been tripping over myself recently. It's okay though. So yeah. Damn, dude. I'm frustrated. So yeah, he stops climbing again, and 100 years later. The thing with Age of Calamity, damn it, I keep saying and now everything's cascading. I was gonna say cascading again. Calamity Ganon, still a threat in the timeline, but there is the introduction of like a little mini guardian, right? And apparently he's supposed to be in the main timeline, this synchronized single timeline right now, and he responds to Zelda's like powers awakening. I don't know what the correlation with that, but apparently he hears that, he gets out of this little box that it was stored up like one of the top shelves in Zelda's study room, and he whatchamacallit, he opens a time portal. I don't know how else I could say that. It's doing that. Guardian finds this little guardian, tries to shoot at this dude, and as little guardian escapes to the time portal, all this malice of Calamity Ganon follows it, and then brings them back like 100 years, not 100 years, but just like some few, like I'll say a couple months, like in the past, to pretty much tell everyone that, hey, despite all the effort you're doing right now, it's not working out. So you gotta try something different. But this also, at the same time, this little dude has the power to erect the towers in Breath of the Wild. So he plays a major role in the full story of things, but he's also the one who is trying to give Zelda the better timeline. So by the little guardian jumping into that time portal, we have now two split timelines, whereas the future that he leaves from still carries on. That's Breath of the Wild. And where he comes back to the past, that is now Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors. And from what I've heard, I couldn't confirm it though, it does create a new split timeline in the sense that everyone's saved. Calamity Ganon's no longer a thing. That's what I've heard. And I'm kind of bummed, but I'm also like, oh, thank God the champions are alive. Because Breath of the Wild is pretty much a tragedy, like as far as like things just happening. And if it weren't for this new retcon, Age of Calamity would just straight up just be a tragedy. Because everyone like online was just like, oh well, we get to see how everyone dies, it's gonna just be bad feels all over again. But no, I think it's actually trying something different. It's just doing a different thing. But Breath of the Wild 2 still is a thing, as far as I understand. Like there's been no halt in the development or cancellation. Better word for it. There's been no cancellation of Breath of the Wild 2's development. We just have like this new spin-off. I guess it would be a spin-off. Is it canon? For others people, yeah, we could say it's canon in like a different timeline thing. It just does the whole timeline split. That's why people are like, myself included. I'm not gonna lie. I'll still play it though. I'll still play it, especially since it does a lot more to keep it within the Breath of the Wild like theming of things, instead of being like, "Hey Joey, play the Breath of the Wild songs," but like with a guitar this time, type of vibe. It really does, as far as what I've seen, it really just kind of pays homage for Breath of the Wild as far as like the music, the instruments, but it also has the gameplay of whatchamacallit, Hyrule Warriors, which I can't really jump too in depth with because I only played the demo. I should play Breath of the Wild, or no, I'm sorry, not Breath of the Wild. Although maybe I should play Breath of the Wild. It was actually fun when I did it like on stream. I was it was last week streaming, or this past week I was streaming Age of Calamity, just the demo, and then it abruptly stopped me because I reached the end of the demo, so I decided to do Breath of the Wild. Man, there's still two different games. Frame rate especially has been a whole different thing, but yeah. So I think that's gonna be my plan for like next week, because I got the entire week off, thank goodness. So I mean, once I get the whole PC thing resolved, that's gonna be Miles Morales recordings. Otherwise I will just do Breath of the Wild, or sorry, Age of Calamity. Oh, okay. God. Oh, hey, 8 minutes. Is there anything else that we would like to talk about? Oh yeah, Demon Souls. We will start that up. I don't know when though. That's the thing, because we only have the one PlayStation 5. So Anaya has been wanting to do coverage on that, like through Twitch streams. The only problem is that my PlayStation 5 is over the way back home. I could bring it over, but it's just like, I don't want to do a lot of transporting. You guys know how big of a unit that thing is? But also, have you guys realized how little I've been playing of the PlayStation? Yeah, it's mainly because I want to just save it for like recordings and whatnot. But yeah. All right, but I think we pretty much covered everything. So why don't we just kind of wrap it up? So, reflections. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really too proud of this podcast, but you know what? It happens to the best of us. So, but the fact is that we are going in the right direction for the channels, both of you, YouTube and Twitch. I am looking forward to what's happening like in the future for both channels. I think despite this podcast, everything will turn up. I that's all I gotta say about it. Oh god, this is terrible. All right, I'm gonna end here before I make anything worse. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to episode 335 DangIT Podcast. My name is Justin, and thanks for watching, listening. #bye everyone. Again, like, despite like all this, I gotta thank everyone, because honestly, the whole reason I wanted to do this was just kind of like to openly connect with people, both online and just like as far as friends, and I've been able to do both. And as slow of an incline as this is, there's promise and it gets somewhere. But as long as we're having fun, that's what ends up mattering. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.